Maayong hapon, maayong buntag, maayong gabi, no matter where you are in the world. Yeah, give me just a second. I want to double check my stream. Hey, it's actually up and with sound. Yeah, I'm doing this through Streamlabs again today. And was just double checking that everything came through. Still having the same issue for some reason. I can't enter a comment on here. I need to do it elsewhere. That oh, there it is. I need to find the button. Yeah, I gotta wait for it to come up here. But I just pulled up the bill. And I'm hoping it's gonna come up. There we go. Now I'm not. I don't have my glasses with me. Okay, it is following me. Now I haven't done this, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Normally I try to do these behind the scenes to verify everything's working good. Now, the one I'm actually looking at right now is for Channah. And as you can see down here, the actual final bill is the hospital portion to it is 8,000 pesos. The pediatrician, his fee was 8,000, and that's after the Bill Health deducted their amount. Now, we've got the summary bill for Cindy, but we don't have Channah's summary bill for some reason. And on Cindy's, we noticed in the summary at least, and then went back to the full bill and verified. There's actually a little bit of a billing error, so we need to get that checked out. But yeah, the entire hospital charges were only 16,925 pesos. That's around 800 bucks for Cindy's portion, and then there were 12,300 for Channah's portion, and so both of them together are less than 50,000 pesos for the hospital bills. The OBGYN, the OB-GYN was 20,000 for Cindy, and it was 8,500. So for the pediatrician that came in to do the checkups for Channah. So again, the 85 and the 20 is 28,000 for the pediatricians, or for the both doctors' fees. So yeah, I am immensely uh, glad and amazed at the amount that they were. Uh, Morning, Papa Steve. That morning, Mr. Daniel. How you doing? I'm not sure if you're Papa Daniel yet or not. Are you? Uh, I think you said you were, but I'm not positive. And yeah, that was a huge reason for us staying here throughout the pregnancy. Is that we knew that these kind of fees were not going to be doable in the U.S. Good morning, Mary Ellen. How you doing in Maine today? Have you got snow yet? Uh, that we actually do have a pediatrician appointment today with Channah, and I'm probably going to end this about quarter to 10, in about a half an hour just because of that. That I still need to go grab a shower and stuff. Cindy needs to get cleaned up a little bit more. And that we're getting there. And Daniel, that's like a lot. That we are very very impressed with Philippine with Channah. And Daniel, that seems to be way common for a lot of Phil-Am couples. Uh, yeah, this time of year in Maine, snow is quite possible. This time of year in New York, snow is historically possible. It hasn't been for quite a while, I think. And yeah, that Daniel, there's a lot of Phil-Am couples that just don't have kids for whatever reason. Uh, there's a lot that start families way late. That yeah, salting your roads. New York State does that. The areas that we're from, and that's a big part of what causes horrible rust. We are hugely blessed in a lot of ways. That both Cindy and I, before we got together, had been diagnosed as being infertile. Not sterile, but infertile, meaning that kids were very unlikely, but not impossible. Uh, that I was actually diagnosed in my early 20s, and when I had my son, I went back to the doctor and was rechecked, and that's when the fertility doctor said that infertile, that he really emphasized. Infertile doesn't mean you can't; it just means that you are highly unlikely. And so I always knew in the back of my mind it was a possibility, just not a terribly realistic one. And the same with Cindy. They flat out told her it was not impossible, and that she would probably be a high risk pregnancy, but it's not completely impossible. And so, because both of us were considered infertile, we never worried about it. And in 6 years, we never had a problem until we got back here. And like I say, ironically, my son was born pretty much a year to the day after we moved to Arizona, and Channah was born just over a year after we moved to the Philippines. That I think it's getting here and getting rid of all the American stress. Uh, Most women do want one. Most women do want one, and it's it was just something that Cindy and I both kind of accepted. Just wasn't in the cards for us, and we planned our lives accordingly. Well, planning our lives accordingly wound up not being the correct case. But for us, that we're actually we're very pleased. I actually had an icon. One advantage of doing this way is I can do some really cool stuff in the background that you guys don't really see other than me not really paying attention to the camera. And there's a photo that I got a while ago, and I just need to find it real quick. That kind of describes the situation perfectly, for my opinion. And of course, I'm not finding it real quick. Oops. But it goes through, and I actually used it as a thumbnail one day, way back when we were first announcing that Cindy found out she was pregnant. And it's actually a really cool thing that goes through, that it was on plan but not unwanted. It goes through the different things that there we go. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this real quick. Oh, it's not showing it. Of course. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a second. This one's actually really cool, and it describes exactly what are immensely grateful and thankful for having. Uh, that there's going to be a lot of fumbles and foibles and issues, and there's going to be some intense discussion. There's going to be some flat out screaming matches. That's part of raising a kid. And we're as prepared for them as a parent can ever possibly get. That Daniel, Steve, that you've both been parents. I know that you've had issues with kids that you knew they were coming. You fully expected them, but until they got there, you were never truly prepared for them. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing, and we realize that. We've already had a few problems that we knew were going to be coming in, and weren't going to be really sure how to handle them until they arose. From the top to the bottom, it says not a mistake, not a problem, not a burden, not an inconvenience, not a nuisance, not an accident, not a punishment, but a miracle. And that was a really cool thing. I'll Facebook you the picture. That it's actually a really cool picture. I like it, and I would kind of like to reproduce that picture with Channah. And that I think that would be a really neat thing to do. There's a couple of photos that we've got. There's a couple, that I've got the equipment to take a really cool photo of it, and I'd like to get that and like put it up over a crib or something like that, and just kind of keep reminding, and because there's going to be a day that it's questioning. It's going to be hard some days. And of course it's raining. That we need to get heading out of here about 10:30 for the doctor's appointment. It's 9:30 now, and I need to go grab a shower. I kind of stink, and I need to shave too. Cindy's kind of chastised me a couple times about giving Channah kisses with razor stubble, but I don't brush my cheek up against her. I just give her a quick kiss on the nose or the cheek, and she saw it and finally realized what was going on. That I wasn't doing like I would tease Cindy and kind of rubbing cheek to cheek, kind of scratching her face with my intentionally scratching her face with my chin or cheek. And a lot of these challenges you're just not prepared for, and I don't care how well you get prepared for them. When we were learning to, when I was learning to drive a big truck and dealing with that kind of manual transmission, the guy that was telling me, teaching me, that was one comment he made, is that dropping a gear doesn't make you a good or bad driver. Every driver does it. How you handle dropping a gear is what separates a good driver from a bad driver. Yeah, I definitely, I kept on teasing Cindy. I was going to have the ponytail. But yeah, I do need to get one. she starts giving me garbage about going to get a haircut, I dig in my feet and tease her about it. When my son was born, I actually had hair down to my shoulder blades. I was going through that phase in life. Yeah, it's coming down rather good. Fortunately, I got some stuff done with sunshine this morning, and I got some Christmas light stuff done first thing this morning. The microphone setup is actually right close to the open window. That I keep the open window here. Enjoy your night, Mary Ellen. That when we get back to the States, you're gonna have to come out and visit Carolyn and visit us. Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of surprising me. Yeah, I was one of those long-haired freaks. But I got a job, so I was okay with that. I don't have that picture. That one's back in Phoenix on a hard drive. Yeah, I've got a picture of me holding my son with hair coming down over my shoulders. But yeah, I don't have a terribly good view of it, but I'm gonna see how badly I can screw this up. But yeah, that's the view out my window, my office window. And that's why you can hear the rain so well, as the microphone's actually closer to the open window than it is me. See if I can get that back without causing too much of a problem. There we go. And yeah, the light that you're seeing from my face is actually behind the camera. The light's actually, the camera's right in front of the light. I never did the long beard thing. I've had a beard, but I'm one of these that have got bald spots all over, and it just doesn't grow in well. That's one thing I envy my son for, that he grows in a really good-looking beard. But there again, he's got hair in his knuckles, he's got hair in his toes. I keep on threatening to cornrow his knuckles. Yeah, he's almost got more hair on his knuckles than I do on my chest. He could do a really good ZZ Top beard if he chose to. Yeah, Cindy's quietly letting me know she's gonna log into a friend's, talk with a friend for a while. I don't think I've got a real good picture of my son, and I'd want to talk with him before I put it up. Oh, okay. Cindy's seen the actual physical photo of me with the long hair and everything. I don't think her parents ever have. I don't think her family's ever seen that. I kind of had a beard at the time. For a long time, I did try to grow in the beard. It just doesn't come in well. With Cindy, she doesn't like the beard. 1 year for No Shave November, I did a beard. I did the No Shave November, and she immediately made me shave it off. I've actually got a video done, kind of a humorous video of me shaving the beard. Because the other thing I've done for a long time too is have the goatee. I've thought about doing that. I've done the Jesus chop or the mutton chops. Yeah, I've done all kinds of very poor facial hair decisions. That yeah, my I don't have it with me. My city badge that I had the mutton chops that connected with the mustache and all that fun stuff. And I finally shaved them off, and it was a few years later that somebody from downtown realized that I didn't have the mutton chops anymore, and I said it made my picture change enough that they actually made me go down and rechange that. But yeah, that was not that was a poor facial hair decision moment. I thought they would kind of look cool, but here's a dating comment, or an age dating comment. There we go, age whatever. Can anybody remember Muttley from Penelope? Oh gosh, Penelope Pureheart, Snidely Whiplash, and the Dudley Do-Right cartoons. There we go, Dudley Do-Right cartoons. One of the guys that works that I kind of look like Muttley from that show. Yeah, for a while I did. I actually had hair, real long hair. And then, for whatever reason, just got tired of dealing with it and cut it. I'm one of these people, the hair got darker, the hair turned dark brown, but I've still got that super fine blonde hair. When I was younger, when I was a little kid, I had almost platinum blonde hair. By teens, it was kind of a dark blonde, and the more I've aged, the darker it's gotten. But it's still not jet black. Both of my parents had jet black hair. My oldest sister has jet black hair ever since birth. My oldest brother had blonde hair when he was born, but his turned brown early and kind of kept brown hair from all of his life. This brother has been almost bleach blonde his entire life. This sister has been really, really light bleach blonde hair all of her life. And like I say, mine started blonde but darkened up as I aged. And I'm not sure if it's getting darker or it's just my eyesight's going worse or what. But to me, it seems to be getting a little bit darker blonde. More of a genuine brown now than it was when I was younger. But it is still that super, super fine hair. That kind of dates age that I don't think my son doesn't remember them or has no idea who they're talking about. Oh, good God. Yeah, I didn't quite go that way. I didn't quite go there. I don't think I've got it. I don't think I got any access to it. I was hoping against hope to somehow figure out a way to network that drive back in Phoenix so that I would have uh, a means of accessing the information on that drive. And I talked with somebody about doing it, and they said that that would be kind of a risky thing because you'd wind up giving it a static IP, and that you know that there would be a lot of risk involved with it. So I just said to heck with it. I'm not gonna mess with it. And oh no, it's not gray in the least. The beard is gray, but the hair, no. There's no gray whatsoever in there, to be bluntly honest with you. My father was 80 when he passed away and had jet black hair. Again, his beard was gray. My oldest brother, this brother, he had a little bit of gray in his hair, but a lot in his beard. And his hair didn't go gray, but it kind of lightened up a little bit. That it wasn't quite as dark brown before he passed away. And the other thing is the two older brothers that are quite a bit older than I am. Both of them still have full head of hair. So my old man had a full my old man had a full head of hair too. We're getting thin, but he still had a full head. So fortunately, baldness does not seem to run in the family terribly well. It's looking like Channah's going to have the I thought about teasing Cindy and growing a beard because I had one when Buddy was born. There was another guy that my parents knew that he was a little bit older. He was quite a bit older than I was, but not anywhere near as old as they were. And that's what he kind of joked around about, is he had hair so long it finally all fell out. Fortunately, the hair in our family seems to stay in. My father, for having black hair, had real fine hair. My mother had super coarse hair. But yeah, the biggest problem with my hair, and part of the problem with growing it long, is it is just so stinking fine that it is really hard to manage. It gets horribly tangled real easy. I'm one that could probably do the dreadlocks fairly easily because of it. But yeah, trying to wash it, dry it, all that fun stuff is just a nightmare. And that was the biggest reason why I finally cut it. It just got to be too big of a pain in the tush to deal with. And again, because it's so fine, if you don't wash it every day very well, it looks dirty. And yeah, it was just more of a chore than it was worth to me. It was something I kind of liked, but wasn't that big of a deal. I've thought about growing it out a couple more times since then, but at this point I'm getting too old for that. It wouldn't look right for someone my age and mentality and attitude. The other thing too is that you can see a little bit of it. The longer it gets, there's a point where it just starts curling and doing all kinds of weird crap, which makes it an even harder thing to deal with. I did a flat top for a short while, but again, the hair's too fine, and that I've got like 3 colics that won't go right, and so even brush cuts don't work well for me. When I was working, I'd actually keep my hair about 3/4 of an inch long, and just did the trimmer once a week with it and called it good, just because of not wanting to deal with it. I've thought about doing the bald thing, but if I can find a couple pictures of me with the really short hair, you'll see why there's a reason why I don't do golf, why I don't do the shaving of the head. That, and I've got the fair skin of a blonde person. I wore shorts to an event one time, and people were telling me that I needed to pass out sunglasses. The glare from my legs were blinding. And yeah, you can't see it. Probably just as well. I've got I've got minimal body hair. Yeah, we're doing a striptease on this one. But yeah, I've got minimal body hair too. So yeah, you can see the redneck thing pretty well. I don't know how well it's going to come out on the screen, but yeah, you can see the redneck thing pretty well. People at work would tease me about being a redneck. I grab the collar on my shirt. Yeah, you're right now. It's just part of who I am. Yeah, I'm watching the screen and seeing how far back with this, there's about a 30-45 second delay between what I'm seeing here and what comes up here. Which caused some confusion when I was trying to show the bills and stuff. Before I do the video about the bills, we want to go down and get that corrected and find out what the issue, the apparent issue is. We think they made it an error in the amount that they. Hey, Phil or Andy, that you just missed the striptease I did for everybody. That I'm definitely a blonde-haired person and have the skin tone to show it. And until they come up here, I can't quite read what's on the phone. That's okay. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to sign off anyhow. So. Yeah, from working outside in the Arizona for 20 plus years. Yeah, my arms have gotten kind of a permanent burn. They actually finally did brown up, but yeah, if I go outside in the sun, they still turn beet red. Completely unrelated topic that just yeah, I've got half sleeves on both arms, and so I've already talked with my son about it, and he's cool, and I'm actually going to do something I thought of. I'm going to get a Philippines eagle and Channah's name and birth date, and then on the other arm, I'm going to get the American eagle and my son's name and birth date for both of them. I'm going to get the Channah's done here, and the gentleman that did both arms, I'm going to have him do that one, do the American one. That he does some really impressive detail work, and I really like what he does. And so I'm going to see if I can get that matched fairly well here and have it done by a Filipino artist here. And for you guys that watch Finn Snow, he just recently had some more artwork done by a gentleman here in Cebu City, and showed it, and it looked like some pretty good detail work. So I put a message out to them and am waiting for a reply, and I'm gonna see what it takes to get it and how much it would be, and before we leave, I'll get it done here. If not by him, I'll find somebody else, and kind of incorporate the two together as well. I've been thinking about getting a chest piece done of the Pills to Phoenix logo. But the problem with me doing past the elbows and chest pieces is I just never take off my shirts because of the skin problems. And so anything like that would be just strictly for personal enjoyment, not for public. So I don't know if I would do more than having Channah and Buddy's name on the shoulders. But yeah, I've actually been half-heartedly I've got the first half to Romans 6:23, the wages of sin is death, and then as kind of a witness tool, I put the rest of it inside. And on this arm, I never really did come up with anything to fill the inside of the arm. And so I've kind of thought about putting a smaller logo here, or I may do something with John, Cindy, and Channah on here. I don't know. But yeah, yeah. If you guys got any good ideas for the inside of the forearm, let me know. But it's getting to be 10 o'clock, and I do need to go grab a shower so that I don't offend the doctor. And it's been about your 10-minute halftime. So, from Toad Chip Compound, look for the video. I will have the video up Thursday, one way or the other. We are going to do Chica Chica as soon as we get back home from the doctor and give any information we got on that. And that's about it for today. Please send me a message if you got any idea on what might be kind of cool for the inside of the forearm. But from Toad Chip Compound.